Hello, welcome to Sports here on P&B Television with me, Alhamdulillah Lawrence. And of course, it's been an international duty for most of our football lovers, by the way. And yes, we have some couple of news also for you regarding that. And we will be starting, of course, with the headlines that we have for you today. As of course, the Super Eagles will be facing the Benin Republic today and Ivory Coast for the African Nations qualifying match. Of course, we'll bring you all the details regarding that as well. And of course, we had a little big blow from the captain himself of England. Harry Kane is saying he's not really pleased with some withdrawals that has happened in the Three Lions squad, by the way, and he has pointed out his dissatisfaction to some of the players who have pulled out of the international break or international duty for England, claiming injuries and, well, a little more. We need to come to that as well in the course of the show. And of course, we have some big time claim from Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United, who says Amorim, the new manager, can do well and improve the energy in the squad. And of course, he feels that that's what they are basically lacking mostly in the squad. And of course, we'll be bringing you all this live here on P&B Sports with me, Alhamdulillah Lawrence. Welcome, and we'll begin the show with the Super Eagles, of course, of Nigeria, where they will play today, by the way, at 8 p.m. against the Benin Republic. And of course, is for the African Cup of Nations qualifying, which Nigeria topped the league, by the way, topped the table of the Japan Group D, by the way. And of course, they will be facing Benin today at 8 p.m. And the Nigeria Super Eagles will hope to secure their spot in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations when they face the Benin Republic at Stade Felix Hofstad Bangli today. Actually, it's at Ivory Coast, of course, as we know, where they hired a stadium there to play Nigeria in the African Cup of Nations qualifier, the second leg, by the way. When Nigeria successfully opened up a 4-point lead in the group stage, by the way, Group D, as they lead the table over there. And of course, after securing a 1-0 victory over Libya in Uyo, Nigeria, in the first leg of October's AFCON qualifiers doubleheader, they are now in the lead, having 10 points, by the way, clear of their very close rivals in Benin, by the way. Of course, will have 6 points clear behind Nigeria's Super Eagles. So Nigeria today will be looking forward to securing their qualification to the African Cup of Nations as they play today against Benin. And a win surely is going to be a very good and massive one for Nigeria Super Eagles. However, still for the cheaters of Benin, they really need the win today, as with that win, they can have a secured 3 points and making it 9 points for them. Still yet though behind Nigeria Super Eagles. I'll bring you all the latest on that on the subsequent show here on P&B Sports. And of course, moving ahead, we have a big claim and of course a big statement by the Three Lions captain in person of Harry Kane, who says, well, country comes first before side clubs. This was a statement after he revealed his disappointment with the number of withdrawals from the England squad this week, by the way, and suggesting some England players have forgotten the importance of representing their country, according to Harry Kane, that the country is the most important than the side clubs they play for. And Harry Kane just bringing out his dissatisfaction towards their actions of withdrawing from the national team, the Three Lions. And of course, he is also saying that let them reconsider their decisions in their next upcoming international break, by the way, so that they will put country first before any other team comes last. Some of the names, by the way, that were withdrawn from the team include big names, by the way, in person of people like Aaron Ramsdale, people like Trent Alexander-Arnold, the Liverpool defender, people like Levi Colwill as well, who was withdrawn. Declan Rice of Arsenal was also withdrawn, and of course Bukayo Saka as well withdrawn. The latest one was that of Everton's Darren Braithwaite, where he was the latest person to withdraw. Jack Grealish, all of them withdrawing from the Three Lions squad for the international duty. Of course, he's a big name, of course, for these Three Lions who have been withdrawn, and well, we hope it's not going to be a massive one for them in a negative form, by the way. But then the England captain, in person of Harry Kane, sorting out his dissatisfaction regarding that, and he's encouraging and urging his teammates to reconsider their decisions in doing that as well, because country comes first, according to Harry Kane. All right, moving ahead, we now head to Manchester United, of course, in England, where the captain of Manchester United, in person of Bruno Fernandes, has made his claim as well regarding the new manager, in person of Amorim, where he said Amorim will bring new energy to Manchester United. According to Bruno Fernandes, Amorim is a very clinical manager, a very, very important person as well to him. Do not forget, Bruno Fernandes was once a Sporting CP player, where from there he moved to Manchester United, and he feels that Amorim, of course, bringing back the glory of Sporting CP, can do the same at Manchester United with the same energy he has brought in at Sporting CP. Don't forget, he gave Sporting CP 2 trophies, of course, and with a very young squad, by the way. And according to the Manchester United captain, he feels that Amorim can do the same and bring the same kind of energy to Manchester United, because this is what they are lacking basically. And of course, yesterday, we saw that Amorim arrived Manchester United, and of course he met with the players and of course introduced himself to them. And of course, we can't wait to see what he has to bring to Manchester United. Of course, as we know, they sacked Eric Ten Hag, who was bringing in a very wrong form for Manchester United, which was very, very bad, an awful run of form. Just some few wins in 14 games. 4 wins in 14 games. That is such a very poor performance. However, Amorim, coming into Manchester United, hopes that he can change the strides for Manchester United and bring them back, of course, to winning ways. Do not forget that Amorim is the manager who actually becomes the 6th permanent manager, by the way, in Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson has retired in 2013. 6th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson has left. Well, we hope that he brings something up for Manchester United. All right, moving ahead on sports still matters, we have Sebastian Coe, who says that the female sport is a non-negotiable thing, and of course, protecting female sport is a very vital thing for everybody, according to Coe. Sebastian Coe, by the way, made this statement for the first time since revealing he is set to run for election as the president of the International Olympics Committee. And of course, you know Coe, Sebastian Coe, of course, was also himself an athlete and of course a sport legend, by the way. And of course, this has really given him a stride. We want him to run for the seat of the International Olympic Committee as the president of the International Olympic Committee. He also feels that bringing in the issue of women's sport and supporting women's sport is something that cannot be negotiated. Women are part of sport. Women should be supported in sport. Women are also important in sport. And he is taking that to be part of what she feels that will be important in helping him secure a seat as the chair of the International Olympics Committee. And of course, don't forget, he was a 2-time Olympic champion, Sebastian Coe, a 2-time Olympic champion. And of course, that makes him a legend of the game as well. All right, so moving ahead, we'll be looking at some few things in tennis, of course, where Alcaraz overcame illness to beat Rublev. However, Carlos Alcaraz, overcame illness in some couple of days, beating Andrei Rublev 6-3, 7-6. And that's 10-8, by the way. World number 2, Alexander Zverev, beat Casper Ruud 7-6, 6-3 in Athena. The four-time Grand Slam champion has been suffering from respiratory issues, by the way, and during the week, which contributed to the opening round, Robin Derrett at Casper Ruud on Monday. So Alcaraz, however, overcoming that illness, brought himself back to winning ways, and of course, he beat Rublev in that tennis game he played just yesterday. And of course, we'll be moving quickly now to some couple of fixtures. Of course, as we said, it's been an international duty for most of the players who have, well, actually gone home to represent their countries. And we'll be taking you through to some of the games that have been played. Of course, we'll be starting with the African Cup of Nations, games that have been played lately yesterday. And of course, we'll be starting with the qualification in Group E of the African Cup of Nations, where Liberia beat Togo by 1-0. And of course, that was a massive one for Liberia. In Group G, we had Chad playing a 1-0 draw against Sierra Leone. And of course, in Group J, we had Namibia playing a 0-0 draw with Cameroon. And other friendlies, by the way, in international friendlies, we have Bangladesh losing at home to Maldives by 1-0. They lost that game by 1-0, Bangladesh, even though they were at home. Of course, another international duty as well, Kazakhstan played against Nepal, where they beat Nepal by 4-0. And that was actually a very emphatic one for them, playing at home as well. Of course, on some other fixtures that we have for you, especially today, we have for the Group A of the Africa Cup of Nations, we have Madagascar to be playing Tunisia later on today by 5 p.m. And of course, in Group D, we have Lesotho will be taking on Central African Republic, and in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying, that's for Group B, I beg your pardon. And of course, we'll be heading towards Group D, where we have Rwanda will be taking on Libya later on today by 5 p.m. as well. And of course, by 8 p.m., Nigeria will be taking on Benin in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match. Of course, that match, I believe, will be a very important one for all Nigerians. So don't forget, support your country, support the Super Eagles, and of course, we will definitely have that victory against Benin. And of course, moving ahead quickly to Group E, we have, of course, Equatorial Guinea will be taking on Algeria later on today by 2 p.m. And of course, still on the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches, we have Group F, Niger will be taking on Sudan later on too by 5 p.m. And of course, we have Group L, where Burundi will be taking on Malawi also. And moving ahead, still in Group L, Burkina Faso will be taking on Senegal by 8 p.m. as well today. And of course, that is it for the Africa Cup of Nations qualification matches. I believe a lot of football lovers will still follow those games as well. And moving ahead quickly to the UEFA Nations League, we have some couple of matches coming up today, by the way, in Belgium. Italy, by the way, is a very big game as well, and of course will be an interesting one between Belgium and Italy. We'll be taking up today by 8:45 p.m. And of course, France will be taking on Israel today in the UEFA Nations League qualification match, by the way. And of course, that match is going to come by 8:45 as well. Still on the UEFA Nations League, Group 2, we have Greece taking on England today by 8:45. And of course, Ireland will be playing against Finland equally today by 8:45. And of course, still in the UEFA Nations League, Kazakhstan will be taking on Austria today by 4 p.m. And of course, Slovenia will be playing against Norway today as well by 8:45 p.m. And still in the Nations League, this one is for Group 4, where Armenia will be taking on Faroe Islands, and that match is coming up by 6 p.m. as well. And North Macedonia will be taking on Latvia by 8:45 as well in the UEFA Nations League, Group 4 precisely. And moving ahead, we have some World Cup qualifying matches that are coming, just one today by the way, between Venezuela and Brazil. And that is going to be a very emphatic one and a very exciting one as well. Do not forget, it's an international break, an international duty for most of the football lovers, to be precise, but then it's still what makes it exciting. And of course, for this morning, this is all we have for you here on PNB Sports with me, Alhamdulillah Lawrence. Do so to join us next time if you can. From me now is bye.